In the news tonight, more plans unveiled to boost consumer rights in Barbados. A university professor shares some advice ahead of tomorrow's budget.
Broadcasting from our studios in the Pine St. Michael, this is CBC NewsNight, starting now.
Good evening to you. I'm Lisa Broom. Thank you so much for tuning in. In our top story tonight, Barbadian consumers should be in a position to take their complaints to the first ever virtual Consumer Affairs Tribunal before year end. The announcement from Minister of Energy and Business Development, Senator the Honourable Lisa Cummins, at the start of World Consumer Rights Week. She was speaking during a church service at the Sanctuary Empowerment Centre.
The idea that you are behind your devices, you're on your computers all of the time. We're not talking about a little Zoom setup on the computer, on your phone. We're talking about a proper virtual tribunal where consumers have the opportunity to come and engage with these agencies that I've just outlined with you if there are concerns and complaints about your interaction with the business community.
Additionally, Senator Cummins says the ministry with responsibility for consumer rights and the Barbados Consumer Empowerment Network will be joining forces for the consumer's benefit.
Between the Ministry of Business, specifically Consumer Affairs, the Fair Trading Commission, and the Office of the Public Counsel, you have options. You have options to be able to engage if businesses are engaging in practices that you consider to be unfair. This is the ministry, this is the team that you will be engaging with. We also have within this ministry a Consumer Affairs Tribunal. And we have members of the Consumer Affairs Tribunal here with us this morning. They hear cases, they adjudicate many of those cases, and in some instances, there are also awards that they will have to levy against a business or in favor of a consumer.
Over 1,000 delegates from countries around the world will be gathering in Barbados this week for a major conference on energy. Government and the Sustainable Energy for All will be co-hosting the 6th Sea for All Global Forum from March 12th to 13th at the Lloyd Erskine Sandiford Centre. Minister of Energy and Business, Senator Lisa Cummins, has been speaking about the importance of the high-level talks.
We will have 77 countries. We'll have international agencies. We'll have the United Nations. We'll have our development partners. We will have members of the global private sector and the owners of capital. We will have members of civil society here in Barbados. And so we're very excited as a government of Barbados to be hosting this important conference. And we will be co-hosting it with SC for All under the leadership of the Special Envoy for the United Nations Secretary General on Energy, Ms. Damilola Ogunbuyi, who will be here along with her team coming in from Vienna, Austria.
Well, there's a suggestion government doesn't have much room to reduce the cost of living in Barbados. This is the view of Professor of Tourism Economics and Dean of the Faculty of Social Sciences at the University of the West Indies, Professor Troy Lord. He was speaking ahead of the budgetary proposals and financial statements 2025, which will be delivered tomorrow by Minister in the Ministry of Finance, Ryan Strawn. Professor Lord believes that in this regard, government's sole lever to lower the cost of living is tariffs, import taxes, and value-added tax.
This is really, truthfully, the really only lever that government has really to reduce the cost of living. I do expect you may see some expansion of maybe or zero rating on some food items. There's also the tax on fuel. Maybe there could be some adjustment there. I mean, because fuel is a big input into manufacturing and agriculture and so forth.
Additionally, Professor Lord suggests the private sector can benefit from the streamlining of business registration and licensing procedures.
It would be great if there's a single online platform where all of this could be done to encourage, entrepreneurship. I think that boosting certain industries would be a really good idea. So targeted support for agriculture, manufacturing, and perhaps digital services exports would be a worthwhile consideration by the government in the budget. And so, a number of things could be done. You can consider things like duty-free importation of critical inputs, or maybe incentives for companies that want to enter into the new international markets.
Another community is taking all the necessary precautions and training to be ready for a tsunami. The Department of Emergency Management and the St. Michael Northwest District Emergency Organization this weekend launched the Coast to Land Adopt a Hazard Community Project and Tsunami Ready initiative. 3 other communities have already met the criteria and completed the steps to be considered tsunami ready. The St. Michael Northeast District is moving to become the 4th member. Director of the Department of Emergency Management, Carrie Hines, acknowledges natural disasters are out of our control, but she says we must be prepared for the worst.
Hazards will happen all the time. They're all around us. They are going to happen. It is inevitable. It will happen. But the difference will be how the strategies that you undertake to protect yourselves and to make yourselves less vulnerable. I am very happy to endorse the initiatives of the St. Michael Northwest DEO under the leadership of Ms. Doril Gill. She and her team are my department's eyes and ears on the ground.
Meanwhile, Director of the Coastal Zone Management Unit, Dr. Leo Brewster, says these initiatives are important for community engagement.
I hope that as this process starts to roll out, that the DEO will be able to grow in its membership, because this as a dynamic project should be able to bring in people to assist you, right? And make it a lot easier for you to improve your outreach to your community, and more importantly, to demonstrate the role that you actually play in your community.
Coming up on NewsNight, some advice for mothers about spending time with their children. Are being reminded the time children spend with them is very critical to their upbringing. It's coming from Rector at St. Paul's Anglican Church, Reverend Irma Ambrose, and she urges women not to be distracted from completing the work that still lies ahead while exercising patience in all things. Reverend Ambrose was speaking during a church service to mark International Women's Day hosted by the Bureau of Gender Affairs and the Ministry of People Empowerment.
We must embrace the spirit of hard work and honesty. Ladies, do not expect jobs and position because you are female. Our work is not defined by our external beauty, even though we must always be beautiful and look like royalty. Do not expect anybody to give you a job because you is a woman. Do not expect jobs, my friends in Christ, because of societal standards of success. But by dedication and work towards justice and righteousness.
Meanwhile, Deputy Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of People Empowerment and Elder Affairs, Mark Franklin, says there are too many issues regarding women where challenges and setbacks are reported. These include opportunities in the labor market, unemployment rates, sexual harassment in the workplace, disproportionate responsibility in caregiving, and domestic violence, just to name a few.
I'm sure you would agree that there is no one-size-fits-all solution to conquer these challenges. We must, however, engage in constant and continuous communication with the public, especially with our men, about the need to treat, respect, and indeed cherish our women as equal partners in every measure and in every facet of life. We must seek to expand educational and training opportunities aimed at women and girls and make said opportunities more flexible in their delivery to account for those women who may be unavailable in the daytime due to caregiving responsibilities.
The Barbados Hospice Construction Fund is getting a boost. Part of the proceeds from this year's Barbados Labour Party's Women's League Tea Party will be donated to that effort. Themed Hope for the Future, the annual event was held yesterday at Ilaro Court. Women and men dressed in their splendor enjoyed an International Women's Day outing. Member of the Women's League and trustee of the Barbados Association for Cancer Advocacy, Jessica Odell-Barrio, has been explaining the benefits of the hospice.
A much needed facility in Barbados which does not exist today. And so as one of the trustees of the Barbados Association for Cancer Advocacy, I, Jessica Odell-Barrio, who I believe I am a cancer survivor today. I'm delighted to be a
Well, President of the League, Wendy Knight Hunt, says the funds raised continue to help those in need. She says it's always organized to allow all attendees to enjoy to the fullest.
We have helped so many vulnerable families. We have paid so many tuition fees. We have done extraordinary work with the proceeds of this party. And so you might be able to hear from the background, we're having a wonderful time. We're being serenaded by Senator John King, and everybody is having a ball. So this is an event that we look forward to annually.
Time for another break. When we come back, sports and weather.
Good evening with sports. I'm Anne-Marie Burke. Tonight's game 2 of the finals of the Barbados Amateur Basketball Association's President's Cup will be a winner takes all after the first game ended in a tie. The winner of the Derek Garrett Memorial Trophy will be decided on points, and 246 Mobile Shop City United Celtics and Burger King Clapham Bulls both go in with 73 points. Here's a look at how game 1 played out at the BCC gym. Game 1 final series, and what this game dished out was edge of your seat action from the first to last whistle. Bulls here with ball possession, Akeem Marsh just inside the arc for a nice floater. Celtics on the counter-attack, passing around to set up the play the right way, and with the last touch to bank the big money is Theo Greenwich. We're heading back up court, and the Maynard combo would be effective. Rashid to Simeon, who pulls the trigger effectively at the arc. But Celtics had gained the edge in this first 15. Greenwich again put in maximum points in the till. And with Greenwich hot on the trot, you could see just how the scores were being divvied out, with Celtics leading 25-14 at the end of the first 15. Into the second, and on the back foot, Bulls stepped up their defensive game. Ronnie Hurley steals and finds Maynard, who took it coast to coast. Celtics having to fight through the White House-style defense. All players on the heavy manners, but when the openings came, best believe they seized it. Anand Joseph Thorne also put a 3 next to his name. Back in the Bulls' half, this one of the easier executions, with the finishing touch was Marsh, flooring Celtics' Joel Hunt in the process. But Celtics were intent on going into the half as the leaders. All players had their moment in the spotlight. Theron King adds another 3. Some showmanship in the mix. Hunt gets the bounce pass, and why not dunk it? With that, Celtics went into the half up by 10, 45-35. Sports Minister Charles Griffith taking in the action as the third saw a shift. Bulls charged back into the game in a big way. Maynard another 3 to his 16 on the night. Still in Bulls territory, Maynard goes for it again, falls short, but Marsh is there. First attempt off the rim, but the mop-up job is cleaned up well on the second try. I don't think Celtics were fading away. This play was all Ronnie Hurley's from the arc, nailing it. Bulls on the breakaway again. Anton Winters the man. Bulls now with 3 off Celtics. But the men in pink, albeit a slimmer lead, were still holding firm. Kazarian Adams with the floater. At the end of the third, 60-57. So as you can imagine, a tense final 15. Bulls going for it, but not to be the turnover. Celtics on the move or not. Maynard steals from Adams. Here's that Maynard to Maynard combo again. Rashid, the executor. Sticking in the Bulls half, Hurley gets the pass, turns and delivers a sweet fadeaway jumper. We have a game on our hands. And then with this 3-pointer, the scores were tipped in Bulls' favor, 70-69. The immediate response, Celtics on the counter, and Greenwich regains control for his side, 71-70. The clock is ticking down. Celtics with the ball. King goes for it and misses. He tries a second time. To no avail. Bulls then steal. The gym is now in full alert mode. Can the Bulls get a basket and snatch the win? That they do, 73-70. But with seconds left, Celtics need a big one to level the scores. Can they turn this game on its head? Hurley tries. He misses. For a moment, Bulls had it. They lost it. King heads to the arc, but finds Winters, who's already there. Hold your breath. He banks it on the brink of the buzzer. The final score is 73-all. Game 2 will be a true decider. To cricket now, India clinched a record third title with a thrilling 4-wicket win over New Zealand in the final of the 2025 ICC Champions Trophy. Playing at the Dubai International Cricket Stadium today, they decided to take first knock and New Zealand posted 251 for 7 off their allotted overs. Chasing 252, India reached home on 254 for 6 in 49 overs, riding on knocks of 76 from skipper Rohit Sharma, 48 from Shreyas Iyer and 34 not out from KL Rahul. The Allen School and Queen's College are the early leaders of the Power A Tsunami BSAC Championships. Following the conclusion of the field event championship this past week at the Queen's College School grounds, the Allen girls are leaders with 60 points, the St. Michael's School are second with 41, and Queen's College in third on 39. Queen's College lead the boys with 55 to the Allen School's 49, while joint third are defending champions Combermere and Frederick Smith Secondary, both on 41 points. The zonal meets of BSAC are set to start on March 18th, with the final scheduled for March 27th and 28th at the Usain Bolt Sports Complex. Well, that's it for sports. Up next is the weather with Carrie-Ann O'Neill.
Good evening and welcome to the weather news. The high-pressure system is our dominant feature today. As a result, we experienced mostly dry and stable conditions. The winds across the region, they are light to moderate, and we do have a trough system maintaining some showers across the Guianas. The maximum temperature today was 29 degrees Celsius, the minimum 23 degrees. At present, the temperature stands at 25 degrees Celsius. The relative humidity 71%, which means that our atmosphere is dry at this time, and those winds are coming in from the east. We take a look now at our satellite feed, where the high-pressure system is the dominant feature. We experienced dry and stable conditions here in Barbados. As a result, it was mostly fair. Now the winds across the region, they're light to moderate, and they're peaking at 17 knots for us here in Barbados. The sea's moderate and open water, with swells now peaking at 2 meters. Later on tonight, the ridge pattern will continue to dominate. We are expecting partly cloudy skies along with only a few light showers. And further south, a trough system there maintained some showers across the Guianas. Over now in the Western Caribbean, the ridge pattern also was the dominant feature there. As a result, they too enjoyed dry and stable conditions. Well, that's our first look at the weather. After the break, we'll have the forecast. Welcome back. In the forecast for tomorrow, the sun is expected to rise at 8 minutes past 6 and will set at 8 minutes past 6. The first high tide, that's expected at 14 minutes after 2 in the early morning. The first low at 7:24 a.m. Now the seas, moderate and open water with swells peaking at 2 meters. The winds, they're coming in from the east-northeast to the east at 30 kilometers per hour. For us here in Barbados tonight, the ridge pattern will dominate. We are expecting partly cloudy skies along with just a few light showers. And over the next 3 days, fair to partly cloudy skies along with a few showers can be expected.
And that's our news for tonight. On behalf of the entire team, thank you so much for tuning in. Good night.